right, well, nice to have you with us on a busy Friday afternoon, the 5th day of January 2018. Hi, everybody. Yours truly, Christopher Russo. As we start your broadcast day off here on a busy NFL day, College 2 with Eddie Erickson and Ray Martell. We take you home on this, really, listen, an active day as far as the NFL is concerned. In frozen America at 888 Mad Dog 6. That's your two-way sports talk telephone number on a great SiriusXM 82 on a busy day. Okay, we got a lot to do today. We got picks to come with later on with Brent. Phil later, of course, at the top of the hour. Next hour to get through all the games with the postseason, with the 2 tomorrow, 2 on Sunday, which we'll spend obviously plenty of time on, both with Phil and of course probably in our last hour as well, with the first game tomorrow, Titans visiting the Chiefs, and then of course Atlanta and LA a little later on, and then of course Sunday the 2 games led by the Bills, the Karma Bills, the Fun Bills in Jacksonville against the Jaguars, as we chat to you about what's happening. Let's first start with a story that really has been out there for a while, so even ESPN admitted that. Put together nicely, though, in the last 24 hours on the Patriot issue as far as what might be going on with Belichick, Brady, and Kraft, and the whole scenario with, where they are, the three of them, and where the franchise is, and what have you. And, you can really get into this any way you want. I will put more blame on Brady, than anybody. Belichick is not very sentimental. Kraft is. And Brady thinks he's going to go on forever. So you put all that into the mix, and then you throw Garoppolo on top of it, and you have a situation that, let's face it, could be, a little kinetic, a little gasoline on the fire. And I think that's what's going on with the Patriots. First off, it doesn't mean that much in the big picture. They did go 13-3, and they do have top seed in the AFC. And if you're going to beat them, everything's going through Foxborough. So the idea that, this is somehow that they finished, if you read the story and see the headline, you'd think the Patriots went 8-8. I mean, they went, it can't be that bad. They were down 24-16 at Pittsburgh, fourth quarter on the road in Pittsburgh a few weeks ago, and figured out a way to win a game. And this is in late December. So they can't hate each other that much. So you got to let's put that in the big picture first. You worry about next year when you get to next year. Right now, they are still the team to beat in football as the postseason begins here. Now, I said all along, and I'm going to stick with it, I just think they're due to lose a game. I don't know who. I guess I'd have to say Pittsburgh. They're going to get a little break, I think, in that first round divisional game, because they're going to get an easy team compared to playing Jacksonville, which I think is the most dangerous one with their defense. But I do think after beating Seattle the way they did, and then turning around last year 28-3, third quarter trailing Atlanta, and getting out of that game, I do think that they are due for a fall, and they are due to stub their toe in a big spot. Regardless of Brady's age and Kraft and Belichick, they're due to lose one. So I do think they might lose one here in this postseason. Who, where, why, when, who knows? I don't think it's going to be the first game. So they got 2 games to possibly lose, and we'll see. Now, as far as the dynamic of the relationship goes, folks, in case you didn't see it today, it sounds like maybe Brady went to Kraft over Belichick's head and told Kraft to get rid of Garoppolo, and then Garoppolo told Belichick he must go. Remember, Kraft and Brady have sort of a father-son relationship, which does not exist with Belichick, who's sort of the unsentimental football coach. There's a little something going on there. This trainer, who by all intents and purposes is a little bit of a quack. This trainer here with the miracle juice and the miracle medicine and the miracle this and the miracle that, who's sort of Brady's, advisor, i.e. / physical therapist. It sounds like that he's gotten in the way a little bit and kicked out of the facility, and we all know, we read about that, we knew about that, and maybe that's ruffled Brady the wrong way. I mean, who knows? Brady's been a little up and down. I mean, there's a variety of things that maybe something's going on right now with New England. They released a statement today saying that we're united, nothing to this. These are erroneous stories. There were not any quotes in the story, even anonymous quotes. Nothing. And there were, there's a lot of conjecture. Nobody put his name to this and said, yeah, my name is so-and-so. I work for the Patriots, and here's what's going on. So, and nor did you really read that many just quotes on quotes. It was really specifically, Patriot insiders say this. Patriot folks who know Brady say that. It was that kind of story. Interesting, and probably a lot of truth to it, which I guess has been sort of, tipped around the edges throughout the postseason and throughout the regular year with this team. So, there's probably, there's something to it probably. I mean, you could definitely, listen, they got rid of Garoppolo, sort of quickly, and they didn't get anything back for him. You could definitely see Brady, who's got a huge chip on his shoulder, a la Montana, his hero. You could definitely see Brady not wanting to have anything to do with Garoppolo. Cordial, but you could definitely see Brady not getting involved in Garoppolo's deal whatsoever, not working with him, not treating him as his heir apparent, and you could see that becoming divisive. You could see Belichick wanting to prove to the world that it's not just about Brady with his success in New England. So you could see Belichick wanting Garoppolo there to rebuild the team and have him be his quarterback. Remember, he drafted him. You could see that. You could obviously see Brady go to Kraft, who has gone, basically to the wall in defending Brady, whether it's Deflategate or wherever it might be. And by the way, the two people who were involved in Deflategate with the Patriot franchise, they have both been removed from the premises. Yastrzemski and the other kid, McNally, they're all out. And they're sworn to secrecy. So obviously Kraft gave him some money and said, you know what, keep your mouth shut and get out of here. And so they both no longer work for the team in any shape, way, or form after they're there for a long time. So, there was something to Deflategate, and, Kraft defended Brady to no end on that. And so, he, again, quote-unquote, treats Brady like a son. And you could definitely see, Belichick can be tough on it. Hey, Belichick's not going to love you no matter who you are. That's just the way Belichick is. He's a rough coach. He's a tough coach, and he is going to be distant with anybody, even a guy like Brady. And you could see Brady looking for love through Kraft. You could see that. You could see that scenario there. And then you see where the Patriots are. Listen, it's going to end eventually for the franchise. The coach is 65. The quarterback is 40. They're going to have the owner is 76. So they're going to have a stretch here eventually where they have a 5-year period there where they don't play good football. They've been great for 17 years. So this is not going to, they've won 5 Super Bowls. They lost they've been to 7. They've won 5. Sooner or later, they're going to have a stretch of, 6 and 10. And so Brady is not, most quarterbacks don't, I know he thinks he's going to play to 50, but you can't expect that. Nobody else has done it in the history of football. Brady now is going to be the first. Nobody's buying that. And if you're going to find a landing place for Belichick, I know that they are speculating on it today in New York. The place he's going to end up is with the Giants. He's got a relationship with the Giants. He's been with the Giants. The guy who didn't want him coaching the Giants, George Young, has obviously passed away. He's got nothing to worry about from that standpoint. The Maras always have loved him. I know Wellington always loved him. I know John may not love him as a person, but as far as a coach is concerned, John has always loved him. I don't know where Gettleman fits in. I would think Belichick would want full responsibility, and the Giants just made Gettleman their GM, so it's a little dicey there. But the Giants do not have a head coach yet. They'd have to wait a while to see if Belichick would be available. They'd have to wait really into February 3rd. But if there's a job out there right now where the Belichick, I think, would think about running to, would be the Giants. Now, I don't know. And I would think that, Kraft, who I think down deep's a good guy, I think Kraft, knowing that Belichick won him 5 Super Bowls, it's in the other conference, it's not in his division, knowing that he sided with Brady to the hilt, I wouldn't shock me if Kraft allowed Belichick to go to the Giants. Got to let him out of his contract. Wouldn't shock me. Would not shock me. So if there is a landing spot, and we're looking way down the road, it is New York. There's no way around it. There's New York. There's a lot of pieces that have to fall in place, but I don't see Brady going. I don't see Belichick going to Indianapolis. I don't see Belichick going to Arizona. He is comfortable in the Northeast. He knows that Giant franchise better than anything. He's got the second pick in the draft. That would where he would go. So this is interesting now as we get ready for postseason 2018. Bottom line is this. It wasn't going to go on forever. I don't think it affected them too much based on record. They are still the favorite. in this postseason. I don't think if they lose, it's going to be because of friction. I think if they lose, it's going to be, in a lot of ways, age and to a certain degree, law of averages from their standpoint. These games are close all the time, and they seem to win all the close games. One of these days, it's going to go the other way. They beat Pittsburgh, they beat this, they beat that. One of these days, the ball is going to turn, and and they've been in that spot where they have been unlucky, and then they've been lucky, and then maybe due to be unlucky again. That's the way it works in football. You don't win every year. So, and I think they will lose this year. I don't think it will be attributed to this. I think they just will lose overall. And then we will see what occurs. I mean, the Patriots are in a tricky spot. They have the top 2, top 3 quarterbacks, maybe the best in the history of the NFL, who's stubborn, who's got an incredible, what's the word I'm looking for? Intensity to him, who basically wants to go to training camp every year, who thinks that the world's against him, and he's always got something to prove, and is now going to want to prove to the world that A, he can win without Belichick, and B, he can play till he's 50. That's what he wants. And he's in a sort of situation where you got to let him do what he wants to do. All right, Belichick can leave. That will kill the Patriot fan. But if Brady left and Belichick stayed, that would be worse. So it seems to me, based on looking at this so far, and we'll get a report on this in a little while, it seems to me that if there is a split up there, the owner's going nowhere. But if there is a split up there, Belichick's the guy who's going to leave, not Brady. That's what it seems to me. Now, Brady has a catastrophic injury in the next, that's a different story. But based on right now, I'm getting the feeling that the Patriots are going to go down and they're going to go with Brady as long as he is able to take the field. And they will deal with some bad losses and a year or two of bad football with that quarterback just because of what he's meant to the franchise. I think that's what they've done. Now, Belichick doesn't want to stand for that. And so as a result, Belichick will leave. If you ask me right now, if somebody would leave, it would be he. And if you're asking me a spot, it'd have to be New York. I see no other place. He's Jersey, Giants, Parcells, Mara, great franchise, second pick in the draft. And a Giant fan would love Belichick back here. Love him. That would be the spot. 15 after the hour, get your calls in. Mad Dog Unleashed.
This is your year to be